last video we do where I'm teaching strictly an exercise. So we're going to do the squats today, simply because it's a really common exercise. It's used in a lot of workouts. There's a lot of different varieties and a lot of people do it wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and take the time to teach you how to do it, and then not next week, but the week after, we're going to start into some crazy videos. We're going to start doing some circuits, power lifts, other kinds of things that maybe you haven't seen before, things that are going to be really tough but get you in shape really fast. So we're going to go ahead and get started with squat technique. Okay, the first squat I'm going to show you is with a medicine ball. I use this with a lot of my clients who maybe either aren't familiar with the squat or they're not strong enough to use a barbell yet. One thing you want to do, always keep your knees over your feet and keep your weight in your heels. You don't want to be leaning forward or let your knees cave inward or outward. What happens is if your knees get over like in the middle of your center of gravity or out in front of your feet, you're putting a lot of strain on the tendons around your knees, and that's where some people start developing pain in their knees from squatting. So when you squat, I want you to go ahead and sit your weight back in your heels. Now you'll look right here, my knees are over my feet. They're not out here or in here or over here. You need to make sure you sit back, press the weight back in your heels. A lot of times, especially for guys, you're going to want to, when you squat, you're going to want to do this. You have to keep your heels on the ground. This is really going to throw off your balance, and again, you're going to put a lot of strain on the front of your knees, which you don't want to do. Nobody wants knee problems. You want to get healthier and fitter, not injured and crippled. Okay, the next squat we're going to do is the barbell squat. This is probably the one you've seen a lot in the gym. You've probably seen some people, lifting a lot of heavy weight, because it's a fairly good exercise to do to build leg strength. A couple things to keep in mind. When you squat, again, make sure you keep your knees over your feet, keep the weight in your heels, and the other thing is, when you squat, bring your thighs parallel to the floor. If you move the weight 2 inches, you did not squat 600 pounds. You just moved it, okay? Squatting means you go all the way down. This is what it's gonna look like. You're gonna put your shoulders underneath the bar or a pad. I have a pad in this case. Now put your hands wherever it's comfortable. I like to put my pinky right where the smooth groove is. Okay? You're gonna lift the weight, step forward, and then take a deep breath. Come all the way down. See how my thighs are parallel to the floor? And press all the way back up. And you're gonna do several sets. Come down, and come back up. Step back, and wrap. Now I'm facing outward for the sake of being able to see the camera. Normally you would face the mirror so you can watch your technique, watch where your knees are, and watch how your thighs are coming down. Okay, now there are other different types of the squat. There's the split squat, different versions that you can do. Usually most people do the standard squat that I just showed you. One that I'm going to show you is not quite as common, is a single leg squat. This is a really awesome exercise if you really want to develop some strength in your legs, increase your speed, or even if you're getting ready for a fitness show. It's a great way to isolate those legs. And then ladies, if you want to tone and firm your butt, or you want to develop one, this exercise is going to be your best friend. Now again, normally I would be in the squat rack, but since I have to be able to see the camera and they have to see me, we're going to be out here. So what you're going to do is get a bench at whatever height's comfortable for you. Obviously a bench is going to be a little taller for me because I'm a pretty tall person. You're going to take one foot and put it back on the bench. You're going to be standing in a split stance, all the weight's on one leg. You're going to squat down, again, thigh parallel to the floor, and bring it up. And switch sides. Now when you're doing an actual set, you'll do all of your reps all in a row before you switch legs. This is going to be amazing for your legs and for your glute development. And that's all we're going to cover on the squat. Remember, you can use a medicine ball, you can use dumbbells, you can use a barbell. It really depends on what you're comfortable with and what your experience is. Just remember, get your thighs parallel to the floor, keep the weight in your heels, and keep your knees over your feet. Now last week, I completely forgot to give you a nutrition tip, so this week I'm going to give you 2. One of the biggest things, especially for girls, avoid late night eating. This is where we tend to eat because we're bored, or we're stressed, or we're depressed. After dinner, just stop. Just stop. The fridge is closed after dinner, water is open all night. I tell my clients that all the time. So make sure that you're not overeating at night. The other thing is, avoid anything that's highly processed. If it's got a lot of ingredients that don't make sense, or especially even like fast food restaurants, anything that's very questionable as far as food quality, just tend to stay away from it. You don't even know what's in that as far as preservatives and other stuff that everything is, made of now. So just be really careful with anything that's highly processed. And you know what? I'm actually going to give you a third one. Really reduce your alcohol consumption. And it's not so much simply because of the calorie content, but remember that alcohol is a depressant. So it reduces your ability to oxidize fat. There was a study done where men were given 2 alcoholic drinks, and it was lemonade and vodka. It was 2 drinks. Their ability to oxidize fat was reduced by 73% with 2 drinks. So you really need to be careful there. So remember, not next week, but the week after, we're going to do a body weight circuit. So for those of you that are at home working out, there is no excuse why you can't do this, because all you need is to have a body. It's going to be awesome. I'll see you then.